There was a time when Tata Docomo ruled the market. Then how did Ratan Tata's epoch-making brand disappear? It is around 11 o'clock at night. A small shopkeeper is returning home after closing his shop, an old keypad phone in his pocket, and just one fear in his mind that the call might get too long. In that era, having a mobile was a status symbol as well as a source of tension. People used to check their balance before talking, look at the time during the call, and check the balance again after disconnecting. Because if someone spoke for just 3 seconds, more than 1 minute, many times they were charged for the next full minute. Meaning less talk, more money. The common man felt that the mobile company was selling even his 57 seconds, which he did not even use. This was the small sting that was felt in the pockets of crores of users every day. Then suddenly the name Tata Docomo came into the telecom market. The name carried the trust of Tata, backed by the experience of a big technology company like Japan's NTT Docomo. This entry was not just the entry of a new SIM company. This was an entry that challenged the billing system that the rest of the industry had accepted as normal. In 2008, NTT Docomo took a stake in Tata Teleservices and made a big move into India's telecom market. At that time, India was going through an explosion of mobile users. Mobile phones were rapidly reaching every city, every town, and every village. For the first time, people were holding something in their hands that eliminated distance in seconds. But calling still felt expensive. Especially for those people who spent every rupee thoughtfully, and running out of balance was not a small matter for them. In 2009, Tata Docomo introduced the per-second billing model. Talk as much as you want, pay as much as you use. No hidden fear of extra seconds. This might sound like a small thing, but at that time, it was a huge shift in favor of the customer. In telecom language, it was a tariff innovation, but in the common man's language, it was justice. Ratan Tata had described this as a paradigm shift for the users. Truly, it was not just a plan, but a step that changed the very mindset of mobile billing. For the first time, people felt that a company was understanding them in seconds, not minutes. For a student, a laborer, a small shopkeeper, a farmer, this matter meant a lot to everyone. Tata Docomo's advertising style was also different. Youthful tone, fresh music, simple message, and a clear promise. The brand did not present itself like a boring telecom company but like a voice of the new age. At that time, many users got a Tata Docomo SIM just because they felt that this brand valued their money. The fear of the timer while making a call reduced. People started feeling the savings in short calls. If someone needs to talk for 17 seconds, then a charge for 17 seconds. This simple thing became a revolution. The competition was also forced to change their tariffs. Once the customer tasted fair billing, it became difficult to stick to the per-minute model. From here, Tata Docomo achieved its biggest victory. It won customer mindshare before market share. But the telecom business does not run just by having a good idea. It requires spectrum, towers, network quality, cash flow, regulatory clearances, and continuous heavy investment. Tata Docomo's popularity grew rapidly, but it faced a race where money burned on every lap. The telecom market in India was very crowded at that time. Airtel, Vodafone, Idea, BSNL, Reliance Communications, Aircel, and many regional players were fighting for users. Every company was pulling customers through cheap calling, new packs, free SMS, and data offers. In this race, Tata Docomo disrupted voice billing, but the battle for network strength and profitability was different. Around 2010, the era of 3G arrived. This was the time when mobile internet was starting to become the future, not just a luxury. Tata Docomo tried to make a strong entry into 3G services as well. The company spent big on spectrum and promised high-speed internet. But technology upgrade does not mean just getting a license. For that, towers, backhaul devices, customer education, and continuous network expansion are required. Building a good network in a vast country like India is a very expensive task. Installing a tower in a city is one thing, but delivering quality to every district and every village is another. Meanwhile, another challenge stood before Tata Docomo. Pressure within the partnership regarding expectations and performance targets began to grow. NTT Docomo had entered India with great trust. It expected that by joining hands with Tata Teleservices, a strong position would be built in the Indian telecom market. But the reality of the market was not that easy. Subscribers were increasing, but the path to profit was becoming blurry. Cheap calling benefited users, but it also put pressure on companies' revenues. The more the price war grew, the tougher the telecom business became. Tata Docomo was a customer-friendly brand, but customer-friendly pricing does not always translate into company-friendly profit. This was the point where pressure began to build behind the glitz of the story. From the outside, the brand looked strong. From the inside, the numbers were not that comfortable. In 2014, NTT Docomo decided to exit Tata Teleservices. This exit was not simple because a dispute started regarding the shareholder agreement and valuation. The matter reached arbitration. A legal battle ensued between Tata Group and NTT Docomo, and later a heavy payment had to be made as a settlement. This dispute was not just about money. It also affected management energy, investor confidence, and future expansion plans. When a telecom company is already in heavy investment and tough competition, such a dispute becomes an extra weight for it. On the other side, the market was also changing. The database telecom model was replacing the old voice-based telecom model. Now people were not buying SIMs just to make calls. They wanted fast internet, YouTube, WhatsApp, video calls and social media. In this new race, 4G was going to be the biggest weapon. And this was the place where Tata Docomo began to lag behind. Players like Airtel, Vodafone and Idea were busy strengthening their networks. They had a bigger customer base, deeper pockets and stronger distribution. Tata Docomo had a memorable brand, but it could not match the speed of the market leaders in network coverage and 4G transition. Then 2016 came, and the ground of the Indian telecom industry truly shook. Reliance Jio entered the market. Free voice calls, aggressive data offers, and a full 4G network changed the entire language of telecom. Now the customer was not asking whether calling is cheap or not. He was asking how much data he would get and how the speed would be. Jio made voice almost free, and data a mass product. This put tremendous pressure on the revenue structure of the entire industry. For the old telecom companies that relied heavily on voice revenue, this shock was huge. Tata Docomo was already struggling with debt, disputes, weak network expansion and tough competition. Jio's entry multiplied that pressure several times over. It was like a runner who was already tired, and suddenly a new player entered the race at full speed. Customers began to switch rapidly. Whichever company had a better network, cheaper data and more aggressive offers, the user went that way. In telecom, loyalty is often built by network and price. If a call drops, internet is slow, or a plan feels expensive, the user does not take long to change the SIM. This was the biggest pain for Tata Docomo. It made calling fair, but in the data era, its identity advantage began to weaken. The same per-second billing that had made it a hero at one time slowly became common. When other companies also started offering similar billing and cheap packs, Tata Docomo's unique edge diminished. This is one difficulty with innovation in business. You change the market, but then the market can leave you behind. Tata Docomo gave customers a new standard, but itself could not secure a strong place in that next standard, meaning the large-scale 4G data battle. Then Tata Group took a practical decision. Instead of continuously burning money in the consumer mobile business, an exit route was chosen. This decision would not have been easy. Emotional trust was attached to the Tata name, and Tata Docomo was also nostalgia for users. But in business, survival is more important than emotion. If the model does not remain sustainable, even the biggest group takes tough decisions. In 2017, Bharti Airtel announced the acquisition of Tata Teleservices consumer mobile business. This deal came forward in a cash-free and debt-free structure, meaning Tata was transferring its consumer mobile business to Airtel so that better use of customers and spectrum could be made. Gradually, Tata Docomo's users started migrating to the Airtel network. The brand name in people's phones began to change. That SIM, which was once a symbol of the per-second revolution, had now become a story of Indian telecom consolidation. On July 1, 2019, the merger became effective and Tata Docomo's consumer mobile chapter merged into Airtel. After this, the name Tata Docomo almost disappeared from the Indian market. What was once in every shop, every recharge counter, and in the conversations of every youth, became a memory. But this does not mean that Tata Docomo was just a failure. In fact, its story is mixed. On one hand, it could not build a profitable telecom empire. On the other hand, it gave Indian consumers the idea of fair billing. It taught the industry that the customer does not just look at the network, but also looks for honesty in billing. It proved that a big company can turn even a common man's small trouble into a big business idea. Even though the name of Tata Docomo is not seen in India's mobile market today, its impact remains in the history of the industry. Today we take unlimited calling for granted. We do not count seconds. The fear of balance being deducted is not there as much. But once, this was not normal. At one time, making a phone call was also a calculation. How long to speak, when to disconnect, how much balance will be left. All this used to run in the mind. Tata Docomo made that calculation easy. It said, the user will pay only for what he uses. This is the reason why many people still remember Tata Docomo not just as a brand but as a change. The second lesson of this story is that innovation is necessary, but it is not enough. If network, capital, technology upgrades and timing do not align after the innovation, the brand cannot survive. Tata Docomo achieved victory in the voice era, but it could not repeat the same strength in the data era. The way Jio launched 4G data into the mass market changed the entire direction of telecom. After that, only those players could survive in the industry who had huge capital, a strong network and the capacity to fight a long battle. Tata Group stepped back from telecom and put its energy into other businesses, where its long-term advantage was stronger. NTT Docomo also exited India, but it remains a big telecom name in Japan even today. And Tata Docomo? It became a memory in India. A memory that made the small customer feel for the first time that his every single second is precious. This story tells us that sometimes a brand stays alive in consumer culture even after disappearing from the market. Tata Docomo's coin does not rule today, but its impact is hidden in every call where a customer can now talk without counting the seconds. This was the most interesting part of Ratan Tata's vision. He did not just build a company, he turned the customer's pain into a business decision. But in a brutal industry like telecom, just good intention was not enough. There was a battle of scale, spectrum, speed and timing. Tata Docomo changed the game in the beginning, but later the game itself changed. And when the game shifted from calling to data, Tata Docomo was left behind.
This video has taught you something new. Or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.